you get, Warriors! You see what you get when you mess with the orphans!
It's on, kiddos, and we're going. I'm your fearless war chief, Captain Cook, and there's nothing more that I love in a game than a good old fist fight. Fist fights done right in games are brutal and visceral. Cracking of skulls, ribs shattering by fists, the war cries of battle, just angry men battling fist to fist. Life before the TikToks and the MySpaces. Boys go out into public parks and beat the living dog shit out of each other. Boys used to be boys, doing drugs and running from cops. We used to be a proper country, goddammit. Good news is, there's one game that encapsulates a brutal skull-cracking feeling. That sugar rush high of snorting that jelly. The true rush of beating homeless people. That game is The Warriors. The Warriors was released in the year of our Lord 2005 for the PS2 and Xbox, made by the OGs at Rockstar before they started sucking, but that's another thing. The Warriors game is a prequel and retelling of the 1979 film The Warriors, which is based on the book. The book has barely anything to do with anything. Sorry, Soul York, I ain't reading this book, probably due to my low intelligence, but I like movies. And this film, however, is a cult classic. A story about gangs all over New York, coming together for a big meeting of peace and combining their powers to rule the city. The man behind this idea is Cyrus, leader of the most influential gangs called the Rifts. Sad to say, kiddos, that when he called for peace and forgiveness and togetherness, the average human ain't ready for that. So, Cyrus is killed by an unknown shooter, blasting Cyrus in the chest. No one knows who's killed Cyrus, but the Warriors are blamed for this. The Warriors are a long way from home. Every gang in the city is looking to wring their necks. They're gonna have to bop their way past them all to get home to Coney. Kinda similar to modern day New York, except replace the gangs with homeless and giant rats. I highly suggest you watch this movie, it's such a good film. Now that we're up to speed, back to the game. Like with the Scarface game, you could tell the people behind this game were fans of the film. Hell, the previous game Manhunt, made in 2003, has some warrior influences embedded in their DNA. And to save the ADHD viewers watching the whole video, I'm going to cut it short and say this is a fantastic game. Gather around your uncle, Captain Cook, as I delve into what makes this game so great. So, you're part of the small outfit down in Coney Island, known as the Warriors. They wear red vests over whatever, either wearing no shirt to show off that physique, or wearing a shirt or some kind of Native American fit. You go, Cochise. Love the pants and boot tassels. As a gang, you're doing gang shit, like tagging, getting into fights with other gangs, stealing and extorting. You know, gang shit. The game revolves around missions where you play as different members of the gang during different events, like blackout riots, going to a tag artist showdown, or going to collect money from rival gang members. That's all prequel stuff until it follows the events of the film. This game is a prequel and the origin story of the movie, and a retelling of a film, all rolled into one. Rockstar was cooking with the lore, kiddos, making you get a sense of the gang as a whole. Now, I'm not going to spell out events for you kiddos because I'm lazy and have better things to do like watch paint dry. I truly suggest you go play for yourself. And watch the movie too, because I like you a lot. And think you should play this neat game or watch this neat movie. I recommend to you. Hopefully, this review could sell it for you. The gang talk has made me realize, my fellow kiddos, we should meet the titular warriors. Let's go by each member. First up, Cleon. Cleon is the leader and founder of the Warriors. He used to be second in command of a former gang called the Destroyers. But relationships went sour after the gang leader betrayed him, so went on to form the Warriors with another member named Vermin. Well, you will truly know why he's the leader of the set. He's the most well-rounded character in the game, and actually one of the most deadly with his martial art moves. He don't fuck around. The other founder is Vermin. Despite Vermin being a founder, he isn't the leader type. He's just vibing and chilling. He's actually the few characters that take the longest to get enraged. He's that chill. His fighting style is beyond dirty, however. If you're fighting Vermin, say goodbye to your huevos. And Vermin doesn't discriminate. He's punching ladies in their fun zone as well. Next up, we have Cowboy and Swan. They both fell out of the Destroyer crew way before Cleon and Vermin. They saw the writing on the wall and decided to get the hell out of there. They reconnect with Cleon and Vermin at a tournament. They join after an initiation test and become warriors. Swan is a born leader like Cleon. I believe Cleon sees him as a successor. He's just as strong as Cleon, and he's not above going all Bane on someone's spine. He's a character you'll be playing as mostly through the movie sections of the game, so enjoy him while he lasts. Then we have Cowboy. He joined with Swan. He's got the yeehaw and stuff. You know, the weaker characters, but not the weakest. But being weak in this game doesn't mean he can't beat someone's ass. Little funny thing is, you can steal Cowboy's hat when he gets frustrated.
Oh man, come on, give it back!
The next three members can be considered the muscle of the group. Ajax is Snow first. Ajax is the macho machismo of the group. He's always looking to rumble. He's a big hit with the ladies, aka borderline rapey. I think kids call that Riz nowadays. I don't know. Look at that. Unmatched Riz, kiddos. Ajax was joined by Snow. Snow is done dirty in this game, kiddos. Relegated to a secondary player in the story missions of the game, and only having half a mission to himself. Which is bullshit, because he's got one of the most vicious moves, like bro just snaps a poor sap's neck. Gonna feel that in the morning. And the last of the strong warriors is Cochise. Cochise doesn't fuck around. He's got that Apache blood in him. I mean, geez, dude, I don't think this man is getting up ever. And he styles on their ass with that kick. Insult to injury, or insult to first-degree murder. Now for the last two gang members, and I'm gonna be honest, they're the weakest members in the group in terms of fighting, but they provide their uses. First up, Fox. Fox, he's the scout of the gang, and somewhat the eyes and ears of the group. He keeps his ear to the street, and gets a lowdown from the peeps. Shame he could be ravaged by a wind gust because my man's health is so poor. But getting him angry enough, he could pull off this. Last is Rembrandt, and my god, he's even weaker than Fox. His use to the gang is tagging. He's called Rembrandt, get it? Like the Ninja Turtles. Don't look it up, I'm right. But yes, Rembrandt is a skilled graffiti man. Not much of the fighting type. Sure, he could boogie move on these hoes and spray people in the face, but he's not a prize fighter. I'm sure there's no hellish mission where he had to tag a bunch of trains while being chased by cops and gang members. Give the weakest character one of the hardest missions? How cruel can you get? So that's the Warriors, kiddos. That's the gang. All have their unique personalities and fighting styles. All with the same goal of being the best. and proving their worth, and not being a small gang from Coney Island. I think it's time to talk about gameplay, kiddos. The gameplay makes the game rock solid. It also makes me rock solid. First up, let's talk cash money, kiddos. Now, money in this game is not a huge factor in this game, but it is abundant and useful. Gaining money is as easy as getting a job and becoming a productive member of society. Yeah, real little bitch. We're committing crimes in this bitch. We are stealing car radios and merchandise. We are stealing money off this homeless guy so we can get our drug fix. Yeah, stealing is fun. Money is used primarily for your health and artistic creations. First up, health. Now kiddos, all this fighting and falling off of things is hazardous to our health. This is a fighting game, so you may think regaining health is something simple like eating food or drinks. Nope, cocaine. I mean, Flash. Flash is health in this game. You go to your local, legitimate jelly dealer who will sell you health. As a small, disgusting child, I thought the Flash was jelly in a jar for some reason. Don't ask. But this is most likely cocaine. Another use for money is tagging. You gotta get your name out there and to face other gang tags wherever you roam. Tagging at most levels is used as a bonus objective. Defacing other gangs' tags unlocks bonuses back at your hangout. Some missions revolve around you tagging the whole time, throwing up burners to get your name out there.
One down, Rembrandt. Now let's go hit the rest of their turf.
But to tag, you're gonna need spray cans. Where do you get spray cans? Spray can dealers. I totally won't stab them later to get my money back. Don't you worry. That covers currencies and its uses. Now, let's talk about hide and seek, kiddos. Another part of gameplay is hiding and stealth. Sometimes you gotta hide in the shadows to get away from danger. The heat could be too heavy sometimes, and sometimes it's better to pick off peeps in the shadows. Doing stealth attacks are an instant takedown. These can range from judo chops to, oh fuck it, dear God, he's dead. Jesus Christ. Well, he'll be okay in the morning, huh? It can't be worse, you know. Oh dear God, there's blood everywhere. He's just sleeping, kiddos. Onward. You may be asking, who are you hiding from? Well, doing all this violence and destruction won't go unnoticed. The Fuzz is a threat to you along with the other rival gangs. And this is the 70s, so these cops are always brushing up on their police brutality book 101. These cops are no easy win, kiddos. They have the strongest health pool in the game along with the highest stamina, which means they take an absolute beating to go down. And the cops always come equipped with nightsticks. Cops, unlike most enemies in this game, don't just want you dead, they want you in cuffs. So you have to resist being arrested. If you suck at resisting, well, you're going into the slammer, punk. Also, make sure to look out for your partner. Make sure they don't land in cuffs as well. Speaking of partners, whatever level you're playing, the gang member you play as is Warlord. The Warlord is basically the leader of the party, bossing around the other warriors. Their lives are in your hands now. Alright, that's all our basic bases covered. It's now time to get in what makes me really happy. Brawling. If you don't know how to brawl, I'm gonna keep it $150 with you. You're gonna die. Because everyone in this game knows how to fight. This is New York after all. Most NY citizens have to rely on their fists to fight off rats. You may be asking, why don't you just use a fucking strap and start blasting fools? Well, guns are almost non-existent in the Stinky Apple, and with gun control laws, good luck finding a gun in the Big Apple. Only your enemies seem to find guns. Cause who knew criminals don't follow gun control laws? Also, guns hurt, FYI. But guns are special events. For the most part, you're gonna have to rely on your fists, or whatever you can find that's not nailed down. For a battle, let's break down the 1, 2, 3s of fighting. Fighting feels really good in this game. You got the light and strong attacks. Mixing this up can knock people to their backs or onto the ground. Pressing the light and heavy attack together unleashes a powerful blow that either knocks a single person down or multiple people down. On top of the hits, you get grabs. You could grab people and toss them. Or you could throw them into other dudes. Throw them into glass windows, throw them into trash where they belong, or just barbecue a bitch. Or if you just can't stand looking at their ugly fucking face, drag them to a wall and paint the wall with their blood. Or just mug them for their candies, whatever you prefer. Or you could hold them down for your friends so they could attack them. Teamwork makes a dream work. When you grab a person, they're at your mercy for as long as you have stamina. Grabbing an opponent also opens up for you to do a combo move, be it on the ground or standing. Combo moves look something like this. When your character is enraged, it makes all stated moves before more painful, and the combo moves are just straight up murder. Speaking of rage, when your rage meter fills, you can perform these deadly moves for a short time, and you're invulnerable until it runs out. I did state before, yes, no guns kiddos, but good news for you is that anything not nailed down is yours to whack people to death with. So let's break down the weapon types. First weapon you get your hands on is throwables. Things you can pick up and absolutely piss missile at people's craniums. The two-handed throwables are stuff like trash cans, garbage bags, drum kits, chairs, and tables. The most common one is the one-handed throwables. These range from beer bottles, bricks, and small paint cans. Or, if you're lucky enough, you could find a Molotov cocktail to provide warmth to your new acquaintances. The one-handed throwables can be used to get up close and personal and smash things into someone's head. The beer bottle can also be used after breaking it on someone's head. It could be used as a blade. Onto the blunt weapons. Nothing says I love you more than head trauma. You got pipes, boards, bats, crowbars, and nightsticks, and many more to shatter bones with. Blunt weapons can range from one-handed or two-handed. Bats and crowbars, for example, are two-handed weapons. Nothing complex with these weapons, just a simple swinging this fucking thing like a bat and introduce internal bleeding to this person. Nightsticks are an example of one-handed weapons. These are quick strikes to knock someone down and keep beating them until they stop twitching.
I think you did the job already, bro. That fucker ain't getting up, dude.
But the most powerful weapon type in this game is the blades. Yes, the British fighting style is too overpowered in this game. Slicing and dicing someone is the perfect way to send someone to the ER. The blades just eat away at an opponent's health, rendering the person into a goddamn pincushion. That's about every weapon type in the game. They supplement the fighting loop. Lots of variety when it comes to brawling, kiddos. And that's the gameplay, kiddos. It's such a great brawler. You're fighting gangs of people, bodies flying, stuff is being thrown, skulls getting mashed, knuckles bloodied, a fist bukkake of violence. Just look how crazy it gets. A neat detail I love is that as you lose health, your character shows signs of damage, going from minor cuts and bruises to just being a bloody mess. I'm a sucker for damage over time in games. We need more brawlers like these. Sure, we had to beat 'em up side-scrollers in fighting games, but those are a dime a dozen. I haven't seen a brawling of this magnitude in eons, let alone one that reaches this type of peak. Let me know in the comments, kiddos, if you know any brawlers just like this game. I'd love to be proved wrong, kiddos. We are now shifting gears and talking about God's gift to us mere mortals, and that is music. This game has some rockin' licensed music that I sadly can't play for you all, because YouTube and greedy record labels say you can't use their music without giving them one of your kidneys. I will say, it is a decent selection of tunes. These licensed songs played during specific missions, because every ass beating needs a decent track behind it. You get some funky songs, some Spanish dance music, and rock and roll. All genres used appropriately for the current situation. Now on to the original soundtrack. The soundtrack hits you right in the face as you make it to the start menu. This moody start screen is burned into my brain. Whenever I think of the Warriors, I always envision the Wonder Wheel. The Wonder Wheel title screen conveys many emotions. Some people are creeped out or unnerved. Some people find it calming and relaxing. I see it as a calm before the storm. The melodic tunes before you jump into the fray. The original soundtrack is all over the place, and it plays for each scenario, when hiding, brawling, or just waiting around. The music is a constant. It's a vibe when it has ambience of the city around the songs, nightlife with the dogs barking, trains whizzing by, or people yelling. It's always there. It's always the little things I love in video games. Speaking of the little things. Best place to start is the Hangout. Between missions, you head back to the Hangout, the Warriors Clubhouse. This is where you'll find fellow Warriors hanging out or drinking, exercising, or whatever. In the Hangout, you can start the next main story mission, or you could go outside to explore your turf. Your turf is Coney Island. It's small, and you could just vibe, but occasionally you get some side activities. And doing these side activities are beneficial to you. You unlock things like brass knuckles, steel-toed boots, that all improve damage. Even getting boosts like carrying more flash, or getting access to cop cuff keys, and so much more to see, kiddos. So, I suggest doing the side content. It has nothing but benefits for your sexy self. Back to the Hangout. When you do the side objectives and missions, you get flashback missions that you unlock in the Hangout. These missions are just great. You get to see the origins of the gang and its members. Another feature of the Hideout is the Rumble mode. Rumble mode is basically a roster fighter, where you can fight different modes and different gangs with different NPCs. Rumble mode has a lot of different game modes, which range from single one-on-one fights to all-out brawls with a bunch of soldiers fighting. I can't begin to tell you how much fun me and my siblings had fighting each other. You have a lot of the modes to choose from, such as Battle Royale, which has you fight on high places and your objective is to ring out your opponents. By ringing them, I mean sending them careening into their death. A useless mode is Wheels of Steel. Do you want to play Mario Kart with wheelchairs? Then this is for you. Haven't played this mode much, even as a kid. We never saw an interest in that. Do you want to roll around, or do you want to bust some skulls open? The choice is yours. Another sweet game mode is King of the Hill. No, not the show. The objective of King of the Hill is simple. Be on the tippy top the longest, while Sparta kicking your enemies into the Shadow Realm. The next game mode I spent nearly hundreds of hours on as a kid. This game mode is called Survival. Now, normally, survival is pain. You pick your character and an entire gang chases you and tries to kill you. And they most likely will. It simulates being jumped, so most people don't play this mode. That's where I come in with my 2 brain cells and make magic, baby. First, pick a character of your choosing. For a better chance, use one of the boss characters. Like the leader of the Baseball Furies. He comes with an overpowered Bat of Doom, so a good choice. And the team you'll fight against is the Hobos. Congratulations, this is now a Zombies mode. Hobos are the weakest NPCs in this game. One swing of the Bat of Doom and it will kill them. So instead of running around and trying to save your own life, now you can end many lives. I had this game on the PSP, so I was just in this mode the whole time, just seeing how long I could go. My record was an hour, believe it or not. I don't know how many hobos I beat to death, but I invested 1,000 hours in the game, so I'll say around 500 hours of beating homeless people to death. What do you think, Barry? Do I sound completely sane right now?
Please water the plants.
Well, besides homeless genocide, let's talk about the few neat things you can unlock in this game. If you beat the game normally, you unlock a new game mode called Armies of the Night. A new arcade machine is in the Hangout now, and this is an entirely new game mode. Armies of the Night is basically a side-scrolling beat-em-up. Basically Double Dragon. I mean, hell, the game intro is basically a homage to Double Dragon. The minigame has a bunch of levels where you fight various gangs to save your girlfriend. It's basically the game engine condensed into a side-scrolling beat-em-up. A really cool thing, and a nice little reward for completion. But for the hardcore boppers who beat the game on the hardest difficulty, you're rewarded with the Furies mode. Not furry, Furies. You get a new game mode where you get to play the whole story as the Baseball Furies. This mode is just a model swap, granted, where the Warriors are now Baseball Furies, but what's funny is now the Warriors replace the Baseball Fury levels, so you're fighting a bunch of Rembrandts and Foxes. My dream come true. It's such an amusing mode. I highly suggest you guys play this game on hard mode, just for this unlock alone. Well, kiddos, I think it's time to wind down. Let's wrap this turkey. The The Warriors is such a wonderful brawler, there's nothing quite like it. Nowadays, Rockstar thinks the only game IP it has is GTA and Red Dead. There was a time where Rockstar had the brass balls to make games for the sake of making games. I mean, a movie-based game nowadays? That's a mobile game on your phone or some garbage like that. The Warriors and Scarface are my two favorite games of all time. And keep in mind, I haven't watched these movies at the time of playing the games, and I was still amazed and encapsulated by these games. So, where's the Warriors nowadays in our modern world? Much like the movie, it's a hidden gem. There's some rumblings that they're gonna remake the movie, but that's just Hollywood garbage. What do you expect? For the game, however, it's more or less dead. Rockstar, like I said, thinks it only has 2 IPs. Remasters? Forget it, sweetheart. I think Rockstar had a sour taste in their mouth from the GTA Defective Edition, so good luck on a remaster for anything nowadays. Before Rockstar let the money go to their heads, however, there were rumblings of a spiritual successor at the works at Rockstar, which would deal with the Brits. I think the game was called We Are the Mods. And you know what? I believe that would be a great idea for a new Warriors type game. A brawler in the UK? Sounds like a genius idea. Who else knows about good old knuckle busters than the Brits, am I right? But alas, sadly the game was canned and the Warriors faded away. But you know what? I'm glad the Warriors will keep its cult status in game form and in film form. There's a saying, kiddos, sometimes dead is better. I'd rather have people go on their own to play it by some morally gray means. Well, I think I rambled on long enough. See you next time, kiddos, where I beat homeless people in real life. Sayonara, kiddos. Do that YouTube thing if you please. Please go check out my dear friend Pink Paletta. She's a master with the doodles.